Hello everyone, in this video we'll be doing section 5.4, which is nominal interest rate and demand for money. So if you remember, then in financial markets we learned that MD is equal to $YLI, right? Where we mostly took this income in consideration. But now as we have moved on in our chapter, we need to make sure that there's another element that is equally important while we determine it, which is nominal interest rate. MD is equal to LIY by P. Okay. Now let's talk about nominal interest rate. Well, if you hold money, okay, for example, say you have this 100 rupees note. There are two options. You can keep it first of all in your pocket and second in an account which is offering say 1%. So you thought that okay, it's not going to be liquid enough for me and I'm barely going to earn 1 rupees. So if I keep it, I'm going to have 100. If I deposit it, I'm going to have 101 rupees. No big deal. But what happened, all of a sudden they changed their interest rate to say 10%. And now the ones who are keeping the money in pocket are having 100 rupees and those who invested will be getting 110 rupees. Now for a reason you may reconsider your choice of keeping this money, right? You might think that why not invest it? And this is exactly what is opportunity cost. Well, opportunity cost is cost of best option foregone. And now we can see the best option was 110 and you chose 100. So automatically as interest will increase, your money demand will decrease. Why? Because you will want to invest it, right? You will also want to invest in it and earn extra money, which is rupees 10 over here, right? So again, like in this, it had a negative relation. This liquidity, money demand is equal to liquidity of nominal interest rate and Y, which is your income. Now I is inversely related again. Okay. Now if you again pay attention to the formula that we just learned, is MD is equal to MD by P is equal to LIY, where I just mentioned MD is inversely related to I and MD is directly proportional to Y, which means if I increases, then money demanded will decrease and vice versa. Whereas when income will increase, your money demand will also increase. But right now we are not taking into consideration this guy over here, okay, which is price level. So if we shift it on our right hand side, you can see it to be right, and this P is nothing but inflation, right? It's percentage change in price level, which is equal to inflation. So we can form a link now, which is money supply and money demand. When they both are in equilibrium, which means both are equal, it will give us the price level. The price level that we get is nothing but inflation. And inflation directly impacts nominal interest rate, right? And nominal interest rate again impacts money demanded, as we saw here, right? And if you're wondering how inflation and nominal interest rates are interrelated, then go and check out the previous video. Okay, now we will modify this formula once again. So now as we've learned, inflation or I is equal to inflation plus R where inflation is the expected inflation, right? So we can say MD is equal to P L expected inflation plus real interest rate and Y, right? Now if we take into consideration relationship of each element with MD, we see, first of all, MD and inflation are related. We know how. Similarly, this is your nominal interest rate and MD is again related to it. And this is your income, level of income, and money demanded is again related to it. Okay, so from our previous assumptions, we were assuming that MD, is directly proportional to Y and MD is directly proportional to P. Which means if money demand has increased, then prices will also increase. Remember? Causing inflation. And if money demand is, and also this relation, I was going to write the same thing over here. So if your income has increased, then your money demand will also increase, right? And the third part says that now MD is again, we know, even though it's inversely related, but we can say that MD not only depends on current price level, right, which is your not inflation but the price level right now, but also depends on the future or expected inflation rate. Okay, so this was the conclusion of this video, and our next video is going to be completely theoretical, and this was it for the numerical part of this chapter. Thank you.